Fever, no, 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 no! But also, let's take a moment for KK, okay? She's that moment today. She's that girl always. Thank you. Love Steve. Let the light get the nice little dog.
Indiana Fever walk in to Chicago, the United Center, no Caitlin Clark, and they walk out with a W 93-78.
Let's go. Yep. Can't that be able to sit though. The really good thing about having quality depth is when you don't have it, somebody else does. And KK? Yeah! Yeah! Way to step up. Chloe, great job coming in. Good job. Lex, way to come in and make an impact. Kels, just
But also let's take a moment for KK. Okay, she's that moment today. She's that girl always. Thank you. Let the light getting a nice little D. Picture this. The Chicago sky throws their biggest Barbie night celebration yet, complete with pink decorations and Angel Reese hype. But here's the problem. Angel Reese isn't even playing. And they're about to get absolutely demolished by the Indiana Fever for the third straight time this season. The Fever just walked into the United Center, a special arena the Sky booked only against them, and delivered a 93-78 beatdown that had fans literally renaming it Fever Night. Without Caitlin Clark on the court, Kelsey Mitchell dropped a season-high 35 points and proved this rivalry everyone talks about. It doesn't exist. So, what exactly got Caitlin Clark so fired up? If you support the Fever, comment down below. Fired up. Let's go. The Indiana Fever walk into Chicago, the United Center.
No, Caitlin Clark.
And they walk out with a W 93-78. The media wants you to believe we're watching the greatest rivalry in women's basketball history. Two sophomores turned superstars, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, battling it out every time their teams meet. ESPN builds it up. Social media goes crazy. And everyone acts like we're seeing Magic vs. Bird all over again. The story writes itself perfectly. Iowa vs. LSU, Indiana vs. Chicago, Rookie of the Year race. But it's no rivalry when the actual results on the court show otherwise. Let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
People. The really good thing about having quality depth is, when you don't have it, somebody else does. And KK Music, way to step up, Chloe. Great job coming in. Good job, Lex. Way to come in and make an impromptu. Applause. Here's what nobody wants to admit when the cameras stop rolling. The actual head-to-head record between these teams tells a completely different story. The Indiana Fever have absolutely demolished the Chicago Sky 6 times in their last 7 meetings. That's not a rivalry. That's a systematic beatdown happening over and over again. Let's talk about this season specifically. The Fever have now beaten Chicago 3 straight times, outscoring them by a ridiculous 77 points across those 3 games. Think about that number for a second. 77 points. That's more than an entire game's worth of scoring spread across just 3 matchups. The first meeting this season, Indiana decimated them by 35. The second they crushed Chicago by 27 points. And now this latest Barbie night disaster. Another 15-point blowout. This is absolutely a one-solid and one-sided rivalry. And we've got to say it like it is. Like, we can't say Caitlin needs to do this, Caitlin needs to do that. Let's be real. The only reason this is still a rivalry is because the other side of the rivalry won't stop it. And by the way, it is extremely beneficial for Angel Reese to be in his rivalry. The media keeps pushing this narrative because it sells. 2 young stars, different playing styles, contrasting personalities. But when you actually watch these games, when you look at the final scores, when you see how one team consistently outplays the other, the whole rivalry thing falls apart completely. Here's where it gets really embarrassing for Chicago. Even without Caitlin Clark on the court, the Fever still walked into their house and dominated them on their biggest promotional night of the season. The Sky scheduled this special game at the United Center, created this whole Barbie theme around Angel Reese, and got absolutely destroyed by a Fever team missing their best player. This is a fake one-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlin Clark unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. What does this lopsided record mean going forward? It means one franchise is building something special while the other keeps scheduling more games, hoping for different results. The Fever have proven they can beat Chicago with Clark, without Clark, at home, on the road, in regular games, and on special theme nights. This isn't a rivalry between Clark and Reese. This is target practice for Indiana against a Chicago team that keeps giving them opportunities to prove their dominance. The Sky scheduled another United Center game against the Fever, threw another themed party, and got embarrassed again. That's not competitive balance. That's one team repeatedly schooling another while everyone pretends it's close. It's the Kelsey Mitchell show here in Chicago. Mitchell into the paint, able to lay it in. To Mitchell. She'll fire.
You bet.
Deflected. Gets it back and hit from 3. See Mitchell, her 73 of the day. Kelsey Mitchell walked into the United Center knowing she had to carry the scoring load without Caitlin Clark. The veteran guard has been reliable all season, but what happened next put her name in the Fever record books forever. Mitchell absolutely exploded for a season-high 35 points, shooting an incredible 12 of 19 from the field and nailing 7 three-pointers on 10 attempts. That's 70% from beyond the arc when your team needs you most. Money Mitch, put him in a ditch. And Michaela Timpson treating the Chicago Sky like a bunch of Simpsons.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Kelsey Money Mitchell erupted today. Michaela Timpson continues to show every time you put her in the game, every time you give her some actual quality minutes, she will not disappoint. Here's where it gets really special. Mitchell didn't just score. She made franchise history in the process. She joined Caitlin Clark as the only players in Indiana Fever history to record 35 or more points, 5 or more assists, and 5 or more made three-pointers in a single game. Think about that exclusive club. 2 players ever. And Mitchell just earned her spot on Barbie Night in Chicago. On 6 of 10 shooting in the corner. Mitchell connects on a 3. Indiana needed that. It's a 2-point game. There's a chance that gets changed to a 3. Mitchell looking to respond. It does. Things tightening at United Center. Mitchell has it deflected, gets it back, hands hits from 3. Mitchell's preparation paid off in a big way. She spent the off-season working with a trainer who's also a football coach, focusing on defensive back drills to improve her footwork and lateral movement. Those angles and cuts she practiced, they showed up when she needed to get to her spots against Chicago's defense. Every shot looked smooth. Every movement looked natural. Indiana run after Chicago had cut it to 2. Poked away by Timpson. There's the deflection. Off to the races. Timpson finishes strong, forcing a timeout from Chicago. A 9 Indiana run, and the lead is back to 11. Michaela Timpson, the rookie all season long when she's gotten minutes here and there, has made the most of them. And we've seen it on the offensive end. Then here, just getting her arms in the passing lane, the deflection, finishing a tough look. But Mitchell wasn't alone in this masterclass. Michaela Timpson delivered the performance of her young career, dropping 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting from the field. That's 75% efficiency when the lights were brightest. Mitchell praised Timpson after the game, calling her the ultimate pro and highlighting her consistent readiness. Timpson has that quiet confidence that shows up when you need it most. How have you seen her improve and become more workable throughout the season? She's amazing. One of the best rookies I think I've ever come across of. She's I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Like the ultimate pro. Shows up no problems. Nothing. When you have locker room culture happening, you need great people to make it greater. And I think we got a good addition here. So, shout out to KK. The newest Fever player made an immediate impact, too. Chloe BBY signed her 7-day contract on July 25th and scored 8 points in just 10 minutes of action. Coach Stephanie White praised BBY's ability to stretch the floor and create space for Aaliyah Boston. That's exactly the kind of instant production you hope for from a new signing by Williams. Hall gives it up. Chloe BBY able to drain the 3. Recently signed when they play Indiana. And right now, Cardoso answering the bell really nicely. 12, 7, 7 rebounds. BBY again. How about the stroke of Chloe BBY? Speaking of Boston, she grabbed her third straight double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds. But her impact went way beyond the box score. 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Boston affects every possession on both ends, and Chicago had no answer for her all-around game. Cardoso running the floor gets denied by Boston returning the favor. Boston finds the cutter. It's Timpson who lays it in that ends the 110 run. Here's Mitchell. Slips it in. Wide open. Boston tracks it back down. Off to Boston. Back door. Mitchell the cut. And the finish. Tough bucket from Kelsey Mitchell. Lexi Hull came through with clutch shots when the Sky tried to make runs. Her timing and shot selection kept Chicago from building any momentum, including some tough makes that had the visiting fans going crazy. Here's Mitchell, who is 15 in the quarter and a season-high 6 made threes. Hull will fire and hit at the horn. Big finish to the third from Indiana. Coach Stephanie White has been talking all season about having a deep team. She said having depth means players who deserve minutes might not always get them, but games like this prove why that depth matters so much. The Fever rotation stayed strong for 40 minutes without their best player. This supporting cast just proved something important. The Fever aren't just Caitlin Clark and 4 other players. They're a complete team that can beat anyone on any given night. Even when Clark sits on the bench in street clothes, signing autographs and cheering for her teammates, this team keeps winning games. The Chicago Sky went all out planning their biggest Barbie night celebration of the season.